Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another great episode here on Family Business. I'm William Brower. For those who are new to the channel, I am an author and a screenwriter, and with me alongside is my Aunt Debbie, who is a very, very well established SAG-AFTRA actress. And this is just a fun little project that we're doing, both reacting to random things, but also bonding along the way and kind of, filling in the past previous years so we had lost touch with one another and just kind of coming back not only as a family, but also as industry professionals too. Take it away, Aunt Debbie, and then we'll jump into today's episode.
Well, it's a surprise for me. You're not telling me what it is. I just know it's a blast from the past. Um, Hello, everybody. Thank you and welcome back. What can I say? He pretty much said it all. He is a great author. He is my mentor writing. I am beginning to write, and he has been my wonderful mentor. He's also my person that's my reader on my virtual auditions. And I'm a character actor in Atlanta. Hire me.
There we go. That works. so,
Sorry, honey.
so
Sorry, I got my thoughts around me here.
that's all right. So yeah, like I said, I know I was going to kind of keep this on the down low and kind of quiet, so I wanted to surprise you to a degree.
Yeah.
But this was something that you kind of helped to inspire this week's episode when you and I
Oh,
were talking a few days back, and you had mentioned about just kind of going back and thinking back to old school and reflecting on things while listening to '80s music.
uh-oh. The
I know
80s were pretty wild.
that's the word. I'm really glad that you put it that way. Um,
I
so
graduated from college. I met Terry. We got married. Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Things were kind of wild.
there's a lot of things that we save for the screen and for the books.
Yes.
Yes,
For our midnight talk that we talk about.
exactly. So, but we're going to keep it on the same wavelength here because I'm not sure if you had seen the news this week, but Mick Mars, who is the lead guitarist of Motley Crue, has finally had to been forced into retirement
Oh.
because of his disease. So now, for the record, I am not a doctor, but I do write scripts. So I'm going to be pulling this from some source material.
Okay.
This actually comes from one of the websites that I subscribe to, which is called Ultimate Classic Rock, and this was a piece that was written by Dave Lifton just a few years ago, ironically enough, on my birthday. So, but no, Mick Mars has ankylosing spondylitis, which is a severe
Oh,
form of arthritis in his spine. So his spine
yeah.
has basically been fused. So I'm kind of killing a few birds with one stone because of the simple fact that Motley Crue has played heavily in my influence and upbringing over the years. To a point where in my school days, my buddies and I actually attempted. We actually wrote a letter to Doc McGee, the famous promoter and manager, asking him exactly how much money it would cost to hire Motley Crue to crash one of the school's pep rallies, and would they be willing to accept donation via fundraiser of chocolate bars? Understandably, never got any response, but the attempt was thrown out there, though. Better to say that you tried it than do nothing at all.
Then not have tried at all. Absolutely.
You know, so keeping it onto the same wavelength in that sense, and it's just a good way of as a fan to say thank you for everything that you've done over the years. I want to do a piece from Motley Crue that is actually the theme to their film that's actually on Netflix called The Dirt, which is adapted from their book. And of course, me being an author first, The Dirt was one of the few books that I actually read in the course of 24 hours straight.
Ah, that good, huh?
Very, very good. Very insightful. And in a lot of ways, both between the song, the film, and the book, it reminded me in a lot of ways of you because this is one part where it gets really fun, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I've always said that Aunt Debbie has always been known as the cool aunt because of the fact that her being an actress during the 80s and even the early 90s, even though unfortunately the opportunity could never present itself to the full extent, Aunt Debbie used to always offer me a chance to come out to Los Angeles for vacation and gave the most outlandish of promises that would make any parent cringe. She promised everything from trying to get passes to the VIP as escorts into the Viper Room.
Which Terry, my husband, now deceased, actually has gone to the Viper Room. So he actually got into all that stuff with his business associates. Yeah, but it was all sales related. So
yes. So understandably, there were offers to go to the Viper Room, go and hang out at the Rainbow, and try to meet Lemmy at the Rainbow, and go to the Whiskey to watch a couple shows on Sunset Strip. So understandably, were they enticing? Yes. Did I want to go? Yes. Did I have the opportunity? Yes. Did I have the means? Not so much. So life gets in the way. So understandably, like I said, though, reading the book and then watching the film, it just in the back of my head that's one of the primary things that just kept running through was. Tell you what, summer's coming up. Why don't you go ahead and book a flight? And I'll meet you at the airport, and then we're gonna go and hang out at the Whiskey for about a couple hours, and then you can come home for dinner.
now the Whiskey was fun. I have gone to the Whiskey a number of times.
There we
And I
go.
went to man, why is that brain failing me? The Blues, House of Blues.
House of Blues.
Went to the House of Blues a number of times. Yeah.
Cool. So, with that being said, and like I said, for sure, just a good way to say thank you, Mick, for everything. This is the video for the theme song for The Dirt. And
Okay.
one of the things that I actually appreciate besides the song itself, and I think you might get a kick out of this, is they actually did a complete collaboration. So you have the cast hanging out with the band members, actually getting the pointers on how to do Motley Crue as an film adaptation.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and open up the screen share here.
Now I've not seen this. This is going to be a total surprise for me. So
Yeah, among other things, it will for sure. So, and not to mention, of course, too, it's going to be even more fun just to see in general. So, I'm opening up the screen share right now. I trust you can see it okay.
I can.
Okay. And here we go with the music. As soon as I bring it up to full screen.
We have the urge to do this.
There you go.
I did a music, or not a music video. I did an Unsolved Mysteries when we had pyrotechnics, and the whole stage caught fire for real. We did a reenactment of the New Jersey Fire Club that caught fire, and our set really caught fire.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we had to take a couple-hour break while they put the fire out and then cleared the fumes out of the place.
There we go. So that was the dirt.
Cool. There you go.
What are your thoughts? I mean, does that bring back some memories?
Sure did, man. I was a groupie for, I don't know, a couple of months on a band. After college, I went a little crazy, and I was a groupie up in Oakland of a band. I can't remember who it was, but I was always at the front of the stage dancing and bopping and bebopping and hanging with the band and everything, and that was a lot of fun.
Let me guess, was it like something Halen or something along those lines, or
something what, Eddie?
something Halen? I don't know, Van Halen maybe, or something like that.
I don't know. No, it was just a local band. I don't know who it was, but it was fun. It was really fun, you know. And I think I already told you my favorite story of Pink Floyd, The Wall. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one we don't really tell out loud. But we partied to it quite often.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it.
We partied to Pink Floyd quite often.
Yes.
Which was very fun.
So.
No, they're great memories of the 80s. Gosh, the 80s were the best for me. You know, Terry would laugh at me because when we got tired of dancing, where's my hand? That was our dance.
Oh, wow.
We would do that on the dance. That looks so weird. It looks like I have red on my hand. I don't. That was our dance on the dance floor. We would just kind of chill out and go like that.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, improvise when you can.
Yeah, just to give yourself a break, because we did growing up with theater people, and then my college was also a dance. It was a fine arts college, so we had professional dancers and actors in the college. So the dancers would go, flamboyant and crazy and do all these spins and turns and do all this stuff. So the actors, of course, could not be outdone by that. So we also did our own form of dancing and went crazy on the dance floor. As soon as there was music, everybody was out there. Doesn't matter if you had a partner, you just danced by yourself.
Yeah, and shout out to Point Park College on that one.
It's now Point Park University, by the way.
Okay, well, stand corrected.
And you know, my favorite was the Bees, B-52.
Yes.
Rock Lobster. I can't even do it anymore. I'll go this way. Rock Lobster. You know, down, 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 down.
Well, you know that they're actually coming to your neck of the woods. That it's their final tour.
I know. I don't know if I could get tickets, but we'll see.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll throw. We're going to throw it to the universe. Just say Fred Schneider. What do you say? Can you be generous to a actress that just moved into your neighborhood?
Please, just choose all I'm looking for.
There we go. That works. It can even be nosebleed, just as long as it's there.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
There you go.
And in the 80s, Terry had he worked for, let me think, in the 80s and 90s, he worked for Shasta. And we had, Shasta Pop. And he was sales, so we had what was called the Senate seats at the Forum. And Senate was where you had like 8 rows back on everything, concerts, basketball games, hockey games, everything. And we saw the most amazing concerts. We saw Phil Collins when he was at his height, Whitney Houston when she was at the height of her career, Hart, um, Neil Diamond, like a gazillion times we saw. He was amazing. I can't think of everybody else, but we saw a great concert. So you're bringing back some good memories for me, hun.
Well, surprise.
The ones that I can remember,
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
or the ones I want to tell about.
Yeah. We got to put the stipulations up.
Yeah, I
So,
can't spoil my sweet girl image,
and of course that's why I have to laugh whenever you say 80s music and you start saying Phil Collins and I think Motley Crue and then you're like, you know, and so we start to see the that little divide.
Little bit, yeah.
No.
I mean, but I was into Pink Floyd, loved Alan Parsons. Oh, I have every album they ever made, and I saw them in concert. They were phenomenal,
Well, I
phenomenal.
mean, he's still good. He's still amazing.
Yeah. Hasn't done a lot lately, but he is awesome. And they had just come out with a new type of synthesizer that they were advertising and trying out on tour. And so he would like pause and just kind of chill and talk to the audience while they were getting things set up and, say, so what do you want to hear next? And he would take a request and they would play it. And it was such a cool, I mean, it was like you just chill out like in someone's living room, it felt. We were at the Greek Theater, which is a beautiful outdoor theater in Los Angeles. And he was there and he was just like, yeah, okay. It was so low key, but the best concert I can remember. My only regret, I never saw John Denver in concert. My biggest regret. I've seen Chicago. I've seen that's in the 70s. We're
Yeah,
going back, way back then.
yeah.
Hall and Oates, another one of my big favorites. Saw them several times in concert.
Cool.
And Granddad took me to go see Blue Bayou. Who did Blue Bayou?
Linda Ronstadt.
My dad took me to see me and a friend to see Linda Ronstadt in concert. He
Wow.
liked it. Yeah, he had a couple of cool years there.
Yeah. No. And then, so what are your thoughts on the Crue?
Oh,
Motley
I've always liked Motley Crue.
Crue. Okay.
It's what I call headbanger music. It's like when you really need to rock out, you listen to them. When you
Oh
want to
yeah.
be mellow, you're into Phil Collins. When you want to get into an alternate universe, you listen to Pink Floyd. You want to rock out, you listen to Motley Crue. So it's like a eclectic type of music you have for depending on what your mood is.
That's true. That's very true. Or what you're writing with.
True. And Alan Parsons was more of the methodical type of, because you really have to get into his lyrics and you think, wow, existentialism, what's he talking about? Who's the lyric about? You lie down with dogs and you get up with fleas, and Eve, all the whole song, the whole Eve album and all that. It's just so I want to say esoteric. It's
Yeah.
just think about it and see what where is he going on this mind trip.
Yeah. But of course now you can also say thank you to Mike Myers for introducing
Oh,
Alan Parsons to the next generation through Austin Powers.
oh, yeah, Austin Powers.
The Alan Parsons project.
1 million, oh, $1 billion.
Yes. That looks like a private, Johnson.
We have little sharks with lasers in the head.
Yes.
Or my favorite, Scott.
There we go. Yep.
Or who was Robert Wagner, the one-eyed guy.
Yep.
Number 2.
Yep.
Who does number 2 work for? Man is having a really bad time on the toilet.
I know.
Sorry. Terry and I could quote lines from every Austin Powers movie. It was just a joke we had. We would see the movies so many times. We knew. To audience members, my husband Terry passed away last year. He was my best friend. And we saw so many movies together repeatedly that we had that was our, what do you call, our
Date night.
Our connection, actually, that we would sit there and watch the same movie over and over and over and over again. Don't even talk to me about Twister.
No,
okay,
I'm wrong.
I can quote everything. I can quote everything from Twister.
I have to go. We have cows.
What's me? My Zoom keeps freezing.
Okay. I said, I have to go. We have
Asking me a
cows.
question, I don't hear it right now. You're frozen up. There we go. You're back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's do it. I gotta go. We got cows.
There you go.
No, I think that's the same cow.
Classic.
So what do you think of Motley Crue?
Oh, I've always liked them. I mean, I would say that the first 3 albums that I bought with my own money were Power Slave from Iron Maiden, Kiss Destroyer, Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue.
Oh, Shout at the Devil is great. That's a great song.
So I mean, hands down, 100% lifelong fan.
Terry liked Motley Crue too. I know I have some CDs of his in my car. I'm gonna take you way back.
Okay.
What is the longest single LP in history? The longest song ever to be written.
Alice's Restaurant. Not Alice's.
Back to the Go back to the 60s.
I just did. Okay.
So, nothing your mother would ever listen to. Let's put it that way. Your mom was into the Beach Boys. This was something that was actually, I think Aunt Bev was the one who got me into that song.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Bye.
Iron Butterfly. The very first.
The longest song. Yes. Good.
Very, very first introduction to heavy metal, followed by Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, and would you consider Emerson, Lake and Palmer heavy metal, or is that more into the Alan Parsons theme?
That's more progressive rock.
More progressive rock, okay. ELP we call them.
Yeah. Although equally just as good.
Oh yeah, and Moody Blues I think was in the progressive synthesizer type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like Satin and all that. Yeah, heavy rock. Who's the guy that Terry just turned me on to a couple of years ago? And he said you would never. I think he just died. Terry would know these names right off the top. He would know exactly what I was talking about. So you're picking that up on me. For me, it's a singer who just died, had many, many hits.
Okay.
He was fairly young, 50s, 60s, rocker. not Van Halen. He didn't die, did he? No.
No,
Eddie.
Eddie passed away a couple years ago, but he's a guitarist. Look at that. You froze with a look of sheer determination, staring into the gates of hell. Or you just ate those burritos from the dollar store. There we go.
Okay, you froze for like a sweetheart, so I don't know what you were saying.
That's okay. I was just having fun with you, but that's not important. What's the guy's name?
I was just going, while you're frozen. Eddie, is it Eddie Van Halen?
Eddie Van Halen was guitarist, but he passed away a couple years ago.
Is he the one who has like massive amounts of hit songs?
Eddie Van Halen was part of Van Halen.
You Google this. I'm being really stupid here. Andy, it's okay, sweet pie.
Yeah, that's the dog.
Sorry, guys. My dog he's a tiny dog, and he has a collapsing trachea, so he gets into coughing fits. He's okay. Don't get scared. Shh, come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come on. Come here, honey. Oh, Eddie Van Halen was born in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
Yep.
Keep talking. I'm just looking up what his songs were to see if that's who I'm pretty sure it's Eddie Van Halen I'm thinking of. Who had
he was married to Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, Valerie Bertinelli. Oh well. Okay, doesn't tell me.
Do you remember any of the song titles that you were trying to?
Of course not. Why would I that?
Okay.
What would I? That's what I'm trying to look up if he's the guy I'm talking about. Anyway, the point is, I listened to a whole bunch of his songs and I went, wow, he's the guy who sang that. He is the guy who sang that, you know. Terry knew the song writer, he knew the guitarist, the band. I knew the lyrics. I know lyrics to all these really bizarre songs.
Cool.
And he didn't know lyrics, but he knew who wrote it and who performed it and all that stuff.
Well, you see, that's what makes it all part of the fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Okay, can we talk about David Bowie? I just saw a picture of him recently when he was doing Ziggy Stardust. And I think he had like a one piece unitard on, and he had, you know, these long, incredible legs. I mean, they were like a model's leg, a female model. He was so I loved David Bowie. I had a huge crush on him. But I loved his early stuff, but he looked so cool and he was so just sinewy, muscular in this one shot.
You know, but I mean, Bowie was still. I mean, Bowie was a genius through and through. So.
Oh, I loved Bowie so much. I saw his original movie, you know, The Man Who Fell to Earth, and then he was the vampire
King?
in what?
The Goblin King.
The Goblin King, yes, but he was a vampire, I think, too.
Yeah.
Was it The Man Who Fell to Earth? I don't remember, but he was a vampire in one of those. And just loved him. Absolutely loved David Bowie.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, we already got the countdown timer on for this week, so.
Aww.
Time flies when you're having fun, but I do want to. I want to close it with a. You know, again, this is going back to the same article from Ultimate Classic Rock, but
I'll just abuse.
You know, this is you know, this was something that Mick Mars had said during the course of the interview, and I think it definitely resonates on so many levels, especially for for people in my side of the camera as writers. So. And he says, I don't believe in my own hype, he said to Goldmine. I don't need to have a tremendously huge ego, and I don't need to thumb my nose at people. That to me is total bullshit. I am a guy who loves to write and play music, and that is what I have been doing.
Aww. I like it. You know what I liked about the Motley Crue pictures? They seemed to really have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
What they were doing. It wasn't like it was a dirge, you know, or they were performing. They seemed to really like each other and just have fun. They look like they're just having fun together. That's so cool.
You should read the dirt and watch the movie.
I might just do that.
I mean, if you would, I mean, it'll give you an opportunity to even reflect even further on hanging out at the strip in the '80s. So, just
Cool.
be a fair warning on that part, but it'll be up your alley.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Excellent. So, well, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you liked the surprise as much as Aunt Debbie did. And, for those of us of a certain age, I hope you enjoyed rocking out as much as we did too.
And all of our comments about the 80s.
Exactly. So don't fret. We'll be back again next week. And next week, Aunt Debbie's going to be picking out some goodies. So,
I already have it for you now. It is going to be dedicated to yours and mine friend Lynn. I don't say
okay.
that. And Lynn is an old and dear friend of mine, oldest and dearest friend, and has helped the both of us tremendously with things. So this is going to be dedicated to her. We're going to be doing cabaret. I just saw
Oh,
a special on it this morning, and I thought, that's the one we're going to do.
Liza
And
Minnelli?
yes, not only is Lynn a huge Liza Minnelli fan, she's a huge musical fan. And I have a funny story about when I saw cabaret at the age of 12.
Oh, God.
Your mother took me to see it. I have to tell you that. Um, but but she knew that I was not going to understand most of the concepts. But I won free movie tickets
Okay.
and from my junior high, and maybe I was 11. No, I was 12, and so I asked her because I think it was R-rated, so I had to have an adult. My mom wouldn't take me, and Bucko wouldn't take me, and
No.
so your mom took me. But I remember her saying, "No, she's not going to understand most of the concepts," and I really did. I just loved the music and the photography and the characters. And that's what kind of one of the things that got me into acting was so flamboyant. Joel Grey was like, magnificent.
Yeah.
Why I thought about him was that he opened a Broadway museum recently in New York, and they were kind of showcasing it this morning on the news. And there's an expose on it, and he was just really so good. It's $50 to get into the museum. Hello. Um, but there's all these really, really cool things from Broadway that people have donated to the museum. And Joel Grey was sort of narrating it. I love Joel Grey. And it's for the youngsters because um, they probably don't know who Joel Grey is or Liza. It's a little trip down memory lane.
Well, I can't wait. I haven't played that album in a long time. I actually have the soundtrack in my vinyl collection. So I'll be curious to see what song you're going to go with.
Uh, that is going to be hard.
Yes.
That's going to. I'll
Yeah.
probably have to do snippets because there's some parts that are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then I have another story to tell you next week how I met the man who originated cabaret. He was a writer who wrote the book, the short story "I Am a Camera," based on the Joel Grey character.
Well, I can't wait for that part. And at this rate, I'm just going to wonder, does this mean, since you saw Cabaret at 12, Hair? What was that? Maybe
No, they would
13?
not take me to see Hair.
Okay.
Bev took me to see Godspell, my other sister. Nobody took me to go see Hair. No, that was
Okay.
a no-no.
All
I
right.
saw Superstar and Godspell, and those were controversial enough in my family. My dad was freaking out that we saw both of those, but no way here.
Okay. No problem. So, all right. Well, you heard it straight from the lion's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we're going to go to the cabaret. So get your dancing shoes ready. Break out the old hats and everything else. Get yourselves all nice, shiny, polished, tip top, and get ready to step out for the night. We're going to put on the Ritz next week.
Until then, guys, thanks so much for tuning in.
Take
Love
care,
you,
everybody.
sweetheart.
We'll see you later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.